The world of hip-hop thrives on conflict. It always has. Whether it's lyrical sparring, subliminal disses, or full-on public beefs, rap's most legendary moments have often come from a place of tension. But every now and then, something happens that shifts the boundaries of the game, not through bars or bravado, but through legal documents. And that's exactly what's happening now, as Drake's decision to file a lawsuit against Universal Music Group over Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" track begins to ripple through the culture. One of the loudest voices chiming in? None other than Pusha T. Welcome to celebrity rap life, where the red carpets never roll up and the spotlight never fades. The rewards are legendary. Because in celebrity rap life, every downfall can become a comeback, and every headline tells a deeper story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next. To understand why Pusha T's response carries so much weight, you first have to recognize the history. Pusha isn't just another rapper with an opinion. He's a key figure in one of the most notorious modern-day rap beefs, with Drake. A rivalry that's produced scathing diss tracks, unveiled personal secrets, and redefined what a rap war could look like in the streaming era. So when he speaks, particularly on matters involving Drake, it resonates far beyond a headline. In a new GQ profile, Pusha T offered a rare moment of clarity in a genre that often thrives on coded language and evasive shots. Asked about Drake's lawsuit against UMG, a move reportedly triggered by the handling and viral distribution of Kendrick Lamar's diss track, "Not Like Us," Pusha didn't mince words. "I don't rate him no more," he said. "The suing thing is bigger than some rap *T. I just don't rate you. Damn, it's like it just kind of cheapens the art of it once we gotta have real questions about suing and litigation. Like what? For this." It was a loaded statement. Not just because of the obvious disdain Pusha holds for his longtime rival, but because of the bigger implications. Hip-hop has always been about lyrical warfare. Two rappers going toe-to-toe with nothing but rhymes and wit. Lawsuits in that context feel like a foreign object, something that doesn't belong in the arena. To Pusha, Drake's legal maneuver doesn't just look like weakness. It looks like a betrayal of the art form itself. And yet, Pusha's response wasn't entirely black and white. In a moment that may surprise some, he acknowledged there might be some validity to Drake's case. Referring back to his own 2018 diss track, "The Story of Adi Dawn," a song that shook the culture and arguably altered the trajectory of Drake's public image, Pusha suggested that similar suppression tactics may have been used against him. He didn't dwell on it. Instead, he shifted the focus back to the essence of the culture, the ability to stand 10 toes down and face the music. Literally. As far as reigniting his feud with Drake, Pusha didn't seem interested. "I think after everything that had been done, I don't think there was ever anything subliminal to be said ever again in life. Not only just musically, like bro, I actually was in Canada. I actually had a show and made it home," he said. "So, I can't pay attention to none of that. I did the dance for real, not to come back and tiptoe around anything." It was a statement of finality. In his view, the war has already been fought. The necessary damage has been done. There's no need for subtext or sneak disses. He's been in the lion's den and walked out unscathed. Anything that happens now, especially through courts instead of bars, is outside of his code. But while Pusha may see the matter as settled, the culture does not. Drake's lawsuit has opened up a wide-ranging conversation about how much has changed in hip-hop. When battles are no longer confined to wax, when lawyers and corporate interests start becoming part of the narrative, what happens to the raw, unfiltered energy that made hip-hop what it is? Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" wasn't just a song. It was a cultural moment. A blistering indictment of Drake's character, affiliations, and alleged industry manipulations. The track did what few others could. It made hip-hop stop and listen. In a time where music drops at an overwhelming pace, "Not Like Us" forced itself into the conversation and stayed there. And that longevity came with consequences. According to reports, Drake's camp claims that the track's proliferation across platforms like TikTok and YouTube was boosted unfairly, allegedly with UMG's involvement. The lawsuit reportedly accuses the label of failing to apply the same enforcement standards it does for other artists when it comes to copyright and distribution. Whether or not that argument holds up in court remains to be seen. But the fact that it's being made at all is what has people talking. Hip-hop has long been resistant to legal interference in its competitive disputes. The moment a rapper turns to the courts instead of the booth, it creates a perception, fair or not, that the rules have changed. That the playing field is no longer equal. And that's where Pusha T's comments hit the hardest. He's not just calling out Drake for suing. He's suggesting that doing so undermines the very foundation of hip-hop as a space for unfiltered expression. That it sets a dangerous precedent where lyrical criticism becomes actionable in court instead of settled on the mic. And to someone like Pusha, who has built his legacy on lyrical precision and fearless confrontations, that's a line too far. The irony, of course, is that while Drake faces criticism for the lawsuit, he's simultaneously breaking records. Just days before the legal news broke, he made history with the Recording Industry Association of America, becoming the artist with the most diamond-certified singles of all time. With Hold On, We're Going Home, and Best I Ever Had, each hitting diamond status, meaning over 10 million units sold or streamed, Drake now holds a staggering 10 diamond singles. He surpassed Post Malone and Garth Brooks, who previously held the record with 9 apiece. It's a feat that cements his commercial dominance, even as his credibility within certain circles takes a hit. That dichotomy, the clash between critical perception and commercial success, has always been a part of Drake's career. He's both adored and scrutinized. Undefeated on the charts, but constantly questioned in conversations about authenticity. And with this lawsuit, those questions are louder than ever. To some, Drake's move is strategic. A way to protect his brand, control the narrative, and challenge a system he feels has been weaponized against him. To others, it's a sign of fragility. An artist who once seemed untouchable now appearing vulnerable in ways we haven't seen before. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar remains silent. His approach, as always, is calculated. Not Like Us may have started as a diss, but it's grown into something more, an anthem, a statement, a cultural checkpoint. And with Drake now responding not through lyrics but through legal filings, the contrast between their strategies couldn't be clearer. Pusha T sees that contrast. He's lived it. And for him, the choice is obvious. You either live by the pen or die by the paperwork. And while he's no stranger to industry complications, his own fallout with Kanye West still lingering in the background, he remains committed to a vision of hip-hop that prioritizes expression over litigation. That vision is also reflected in his future plans. The GQ interview also touched on his upcoming project with No Malice, a long-awaited Clips reunion album set to drop this summer. It's a return to roots, both familial and artistic. A chance to reassert his voice at a time when the culture is more fractured and complicated than ever. And in that context, his comments about Drake aren't just about one person. They're about a shifting landscape. About the challenges of maintaining integrity in an industry that's increasingly driven by metrics, marketing, and litigation. About the importance of holding on to the values that made hip-hop powerful in the first place. As the summer unfolds, the legal battle between Drake and UMG will likely take many turns. Court dates, filings, and expert analysis will fill the headlines. But for many in the culture, it's the conversation outside the courtroom that matters more. Who gets to define the rules of engagement in hip-hop? Can diss tracks still exist in a world where every line is a potential liability? And what happens when the most powerful voices in the game start to retreat from the chaos they once thrived in? Pusha T has made his position clear. He's not retreating. He's not rewriting the rules. And he's not afraid to call out those who are. Whether or not Drake's lawsuit succeeds in court, it's already failed in the court of public opinion among some of his peers. And that, perhaps, is the real cost. Hip-hop has always been about survival. About standing tall in the face of criticism, challenge, and adversity. And in that light, the current moment feels like a crossroads. One where the choices artists make will shape not just their careers, but the culture itself. Drake may walk out of this with another legal victory, another chart record, another platinum plaque. But the respect of his peers? That's a different battle altogether. One that can't be won in court. One that can't be certified by the RIAA. Only time will tell how the dust settles. But for now, the lines have been drawn. The conversations are loud. And the culture, as always, is watching. This story is far from over, and the truth is still unfolding. I want to hear what you think. Drop your take in the comments. And if you don't want to miss the next twist, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next.